Hey everyone, Jeff Elliott here with another 71.com, and in this video I am going to walk you through how to pass the CPA exam with only Ninja products. And what prompted me to make this video was I got an email from Chris. He says, I've been a member of your online forum for quite a while and was excited to see you had started to offer your own review course. I sent you a tweet earlier about instructions on how to use the materials. One of my major issues with using my current course was I was sent a bundle of material, but with no plan of attack on how to effectively use the materials. Needless to say, it wasn't a rewarding experience. This evening, I plan to buy your complete package. I'm hoping that I can get some clear direction on how I should spend my time with the material. Again, that's from Chris. Now, I tell people all the time that, yes, you can pass using only Ninja, but I've really never walked people through how exactly to do that. And so I'm going to attempt to do so. So Ninja has grown from just being notes and audio to now providing a complete book. We have our own MCQ package, audio notes, blitz, flashcards, study planner, and survival guide. And so Ninja itself has grown into quite a large package. And so people don't know how to study with it. So let's break that down. Going back to the old school Ninja framework, the framework that started it all. So the Ninja framework used to be nail the videos. But I have since changed that to nail the concepts, because you don't need a video course to pass the CPA exam. You just need to understand the concepts. So the N in Ninja is to nail the concepts. What this means is that you need to go through your core materials first. And so what this means with the Ninja package, you need to read the Ninja book cover to cover. The 4 Ninja books are approximately 500 pages each. And what's special about Ninja book is that a lot of review companies, they make a hybrid of a CPA review book plus an accounting textbook plus an accounting / tax manual. And that's not what you need, which is why people pay a lot of money for an instructor to open up that book and then explain what in the world is in the book. And so what Ninja book does is it gets rid of all the excess. If it's in Ninja book, you need to know, because every concept in Ninja book has a direct CPA exam application. And so instead of opening your CPA review book and an instructor standing in front of a video telling you what's in the book, instead I just made a better book. So Ninja book replaces your video course. So you nail the concepts with the Ninja book, which means that you have to read it. And you know, as far as accounting books go, it's pretty good. It's not a Vince Flynn novel or anything, but it gets the job done. Okay, so you read the Ninja book cover to cover. Thus begins you nailing the concepts. When you start your journey, as you're starting in week 1, it doesn't matter if you have, so like the Ninja audio, it covers all of the topics. So you don't have to read, for instance, the Ninja book for bonds in order to listen to the Ninja audio covering accounting changes, because the goal of the Ninja audio is to put the material in your head and for you to listen to it as many times as possible between when you purchase and exam day. So the average Ninja audio is maybe 3 hours. And so if you have an hour commute each day, well, then you can listen to it 1 to 2 times a week during your commute. And then while you work, you can listen to it all day at work, which if it were me, I'd much rather listen to music. But if you can stand the sound of my voice for 8 hours, and I understand if you can't, You can listen to Ninja Audio 24/7. If you want something that can really put you to sleep at night, listen to it right before you go to sleep too. But so you start reading the Ninja book, you start that process, and you treat it like it's your video course, except you are reading it. Every time you get in the car, so you load the Ninja Audio onto your phone, onto your MP3 player, if people still use MP3 players. So you load it onto your iPhone, your Android, whatever, and listen to it in the car, listen to it in the gym, listen to it as you as you mow the yard. And so listen to it as many times as possible. Also, the Ninja Notes. Print them out, load them on your iPad, your tablet, whatever. Take them with you everywhere you go. And I mean everywhere you go. So that is the nail the concepts, the N in Ninja. So we're reading our book, listening to the Ninja Audio 24/7, taking our Ninja Notes everywhere we go. Next is we're taking intense notes. As you read the Ninja book, take intense notes. Go to your friendly neighborhood office supply store, buy a stack of legal pads, and just go to town. Start writing. Just start making furious CPA exam scribbles over topics. If you didn't know it, or if you think you'll forget it, write it down. Take really good notes. If you're listening to the Ninja Audio and you want to, take notes. And I should also back up. At this point, you're not working any multiple choice questions except for what is in the Ninja book. There are application questions. The Ninja book does not put all of the questions at the end of the chapter. I don't like that. The questions, so you have the concept, and then you have the direct CPA exam application right away. So there's no delay there. No flipping back and forth. So again, at this point, you're not doing any multiple choice questions in any software because you are nailing the concepts. After you get through your book, after you get through the Ninja book, and after you've taken your notes, then you move on to the end, which is nonstop multiple choice questions. And the reason for this is because if you do chapter 1 in Ninja book and then do the corresponding section in Ninja MCQ, and then just do chapter 1 book, chapter 1 MCQ, chapter 2 book, section 2 MCQ, basically you're going to have to redo all those questions anyway, because what you learn in week 1, you're going to forget in week 7. And so this is just a more efficient method of studying. Same way, if your review instructor assigns homework after each section, I recommend not doing that. Sure, you can, and it might be an effective use of time, but it's not an efficient use of time. So step 3, now we've read the book, we're listening to the audio 24/7, our notes are with us everywhere we go. Now we log into Ninja MCQ, and it's time to start cranking. So Ninja MCQ has adaptive learning, which simply means the software knows what you don't. There are 2 options. You can go topic by topic, or just do a 20-question set of multiple choice questions and just let the software feed you questions. I personally like to drill down by topic, so you can study bonds, topic by topic. You can go bonds, pensions, inventory, whatever. Or you can just let the computer feed it to you. It doesn't matter what your preference is. The goal with nonstop MCQ is to hit the review phase. And how you hit the review phase. So Ninja MCQ has 3 phases: assessment, adaptive, and review. Your assessment phase is the first 35% of the material. It's figuring out what you know and what you don't. Then the adaptive learning kicks in, and it starts hitting your weaknesses more often. You hit the review phase when you have successfully answered all questions correctly at least once. And the goal is to hit the review phase because you've answered all the questions at least once. As you do your multiple choice questions, continue to take notes. So you have this killer stack of legal pads, continue to take notes. The J, just rewrite it. And I had to figure out a clever way to fit a J into Ninja, so rewrite didn't work, so you just rewrite it. Makes sense, right? Okay. So you have this killer stack of legal pads from your notes, from the Ninja notes that you've scribbled stuff down, from the Ninja audio, from the Ninja book, Ninja MCQ. You have this awesome stack of legal pads, and that's great, except taking notes one time is only slightly less worthless than highlighting in a book. Okay, so it's great that you took the notes, but you need to take them to the next level. You need to take those furious scribbles and turn them into fact nuggets. I recommend taking graphing paper, making a line down the middle, and on the left side, you just start making little bullet points, little notes, and you can fill up 2 sides of each graph paper page. And I would rewrite your notes. So you're taking your long form notes and turn them into fact nuggets. And then what you have there is review gold. Take that with you everywhere you go. The A. This is where it all comes together, and you are about 1 week out. Let me back up. Rewrite your notes, and I didn't mention this, but it's on the slide. Do this 2 weeks from exam day, because it will probably take you about a week to rewrite your notes. Now, it might seem like a waste of time. It's not. It might seem like it takes forever. It does. It does pay off, because you are having to, because while you were reading your book or whatever, you thought through the material once, you wrote it down. This is causing you to not only look at the material, I mean, anyone can scan notes. That's great. It's causing you to scan your notes and reword them into little fact nuggets. So it rewords them into phrases that really stick with you, that really make sense to you. So do this 2 weeks out. If you're 1 week out from your exam, do not rewrite your notes. Okay, so now we are 1 week out from exam day. We've read our Ninja book. We've listened to the Ninja audio like at least 10 times. We've read through the Ninja notes too many times to count, because we read them first thing or in the morning, at lunch, at night before you go to bed, and everywhere we drive, we're listening to the Ninja audio. We've written our notes. We carried those with us everywhere. And we've hit the review phase in Ninja MCQ, and now we are 1 week out from our exam. Start with your weakest topic. So if you're taking regulation and you know that you're really weak on corporate taxation, start there. Just drill down and do all of your corporate taxation questions. And do that until you're hitting about a 70% proficiency. That's an arbitrary number, but good enough to move on, because time is of the essence. I mean, you cannot be an expert in corporate accounting or corporate tax. You can't. You have to be good enough for the exam. And so let's say your next weakest topic is agency law. So then you move on to agency law, and just arbitrarily figure out what your weakest topic is and move towards your strongest topic. As you are trending, or as you are working through your review, your final week, your goal is to have a trending score of 85%. Now, not everyone will hit 85%. Some people will hit 70. Some people are trending 75% and score an 80. Some people are trending 65 and score an 80. Everyone's different, but this is what I know, and this is from a big poll that I did. People who trended 85% and hit the review phase. So they're trending 85% and they hit the review phase, which means they did every question correctly at least once. 85 to 90% of them passed. And the people who didn't, I would say a large percentage of them had done the question so many times that they had memorized the answers. I don't know that for a fact. That's just my guess. And so if you're trending 85 and you hit the review, you stand an excellent chance of passing. And now you have Ninja Blitz, 2 to 3, which is basically a hybrid of the notes and audio, and it's a video PowerPoint. Watch that 2 to 3 days before your exam, maybe even the day before your exam. Okay, again, this is the final week for your exam. Ninja notes. Read them one day before your exam. Read your notes one day before your exam. Okay, on exam day, get up, maybe work a section of Ninja MCQ of your weakest topic. Read the Ninja notes again if you can. I like to schedule my exams, when I was taking the exam, I like to schedule them like around 1 p.m. That way I could get up around 6 and just study for 4 hours. Some people say don't study the day of your exam or the day before. I don't agree with that. So read your Ninja notes again if you can. On your way to the exam center, listen to the Ninja audio over your weakest topic. Okay? And when you get there, they say to show up 30 minutes early. It's up to you whether or not you want to do that. I personally stayed in my vehicle and I studied. So maybe listen to 15 minutes of the Ninja audio, 15 to 30 minutes on your way to the testing center. Just because a lot of the exam lends itself to your short-term memory. And so whatever you can cram into your head and then barf out on exam day, more power to you. And so listen to the Ninja audio of your weakest topic. Maybe something will stick. It might be the difference between a 74 and a 75. And also, before you go in, quickly glance over like the 5 or 6 pages of Ninja notes over your weakest topic. Again, just cram that material into your head. Maybe you hate not-for-profit accounting and you refuse to study it, but you cram the Ninja notes in your head over that topic, and then you go in and take your exam. So if you have the Ninja products and want to know how to use them, I hope this has been helpful. If you didn't know how to use them and you were going to buy them, now is an excellent time to buy. Okay, so that is how you pass the CPA exam using only Ninja materials. Ninja is a comprehensive and complete CPA exam study solution. It can also be easily used with any course. So if you like your crazy expensive video course and you just want to add something to it, a lot of people like to use the Ninja MCQ along with their current option because Ninja MCQ is oftentimes better. And so what I want to do is I want to send you sample chapters of the Ninja book, notes, audio, blitz, flashcards, planner, survival guide, so that you can figure out if it's right for you and you can practice utilizing the materials in the way that I have described in this video. So go to the URL in the video, CPA exam, another71.com/CPA exam study plan. So thank you for your time. Have a great day. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, jeff@another71.com. For right now, go to the URL, CPA exam study plan, and download the free Ninja materials. Thanks again.